Hi everybody, I'm Olivia Kirk and Andrew's asked me to do one of these quick info bursts, and instead of taking you around my garden, I'm actually really lucky to be able to take you around one of my sites, which is just up the road from where I live here in lovely beautiful rural Herefordshire. And it's a farm, and I'm in charge of 30 acres of farm, bringing back the biodiversity of the site. It was a cattle farm until just this time last year, and now the farm buildings are being done up, and I'm in charge of this beautiful area. I thought that I'd show you a few areas on different occasions, and we're going to start off with we're here down on the banks of the River Leddon. And the work that we've been doing here is coppicing work, because this is a lovely riparian woodland, which means that it's a woodland that's got a river running through it. And I'm opening it out and actually bringing it back into the farm, because the first time I walked around here you actually couldn't see this river at all. You could hear it and occasionally you could glimpse it. But you can see all the piles of wood that's around, and that's from coppicing all the hazel stalls that we've been doing. And I'm going to come and talk to you about that in a minute. But to start off with, just to kind of set the scene, this is actually a whole area of ancient woodland. An ancient woodland is defined as something that has been in continual existence since the 1600s. And one of the key areas that shows you that this is ancient woodland is the beautiful swathes of white wood anemones, Anemone nemorosa. And if we just have a little look at these, all the way along this riverbank, which goes for a whole field, that there are masses of these beautiful white wood anemones. And they are faithful compatriots, faithful indicators, of ancient woodland, because they spread so slowly. They do set seed, but generally it's not fertile. And if it is, the seed is viable for a very short amount of time. And they have very small little root systems, which means that they spread incredibly slowly. And a swathe of about 1.8 metres square will take 100 years to have developed. So when you look at the amount of wood anemones that are around here, you can see that they've all been here for an awful long time. One of the things that I've been doing just in this last week is planting bluebells, which arrived in the green from Ashwood nurseries when we were right in the middle of all the storms, and it was just too wet to get anywhere. So I potted them up, and I'm slowly planting them along the woodland. And I'm planting them nearby, wherever there's a clump of garlic, the wild ramsons. And if we just go over to the base of this tree here, there's a beautiful clump that I'll just tell you a little bit about. You can see how lushly it's growing, and as you walk along the bank, there's absolutely swathes of them. And wherever wild garlic will grow, bluebells will grow as well, because they both like the same conditions. They like shade, and they like to have a nice humid root run. And I can tell you, when I've been planting the bluebells, the smell of garlic is just incredible. If we can walk round a little bit further down by the stream, so come and just have a little walk with me down by the riverbank here. And we'll walk along until we find one of these hazel stalls, which we've been coppicing. So I've had guys here for the last 2 or 3 weeks, and they're cutting down 50% of the hazel. They're leaving the other 50% so there's cover for the wildlife, cover for bats, and then we're actually using them. If you could come back here, my cameraman please, I'm going to show you a little area of the stream that is actually being worn away by the water. So the bank is being degraded. Can you see there's a big chunk missing there? And the hazel stalls that we've coppiced, we're keeping all the brash, and we're going to wrap it into what's called faggots. So if we come up here, and I can show you a faggot that's being made. So this is the brash, and these, if you just look over there, there's wood piles there. So we're dispersing wood piles along the riverbank, so that wildlife could use them. Wrens and robins can nest in them, and it just gives plenty of space for the creepy crawlies that we're trying to get back into the site. So if you come over here, and I can show you a faggot that we're making at the moment. So here we've got a lovely pile of brash, and it's going to be put into loose bundles, and then it's going to be tied again with hazel stalk, with the hazel whips, and we're going to make them into the faggots, which will then be sunk onto the riverbank. And if you put them as mattresses round the side of the riverbank, the slowly moving silt that comes down with the flow of the river will actually get caught into these faggots, so it gradually builds back the riverbank, which is fairly incredible. So if I just leave you for just a couple of seconds, just to listen to the lovely, relaxing babble of